first, our next guest prides herself on living joyfully frugal. Savvy shopper expert Serina Bird, aka the Joyful Frugalista, has come up with a way to feed a family of 4 a week for just $70. And she joins us now from Canberra. It's great to see you, Serina. $70 a week, so we're talking $10 a day to feed an entire family. Where do we start?
Well, I want to acknowledge too the amount of families who are really doing it tough during this year and the amount of people who are really experiencing true food insecurity. This is a real problem. So I do this as a bit of a challenge, but for many people this is actually the reality. And where your day starts is with your breakfast, the breakfast of the champions. And I love starting my day with some porridge, with some fresh fruit if my budget extends to it, and that really helps me keep full for hours.
Okay, so you've got breakfast covered. What's next?
So what next is lunch. So we can see I've got some of my sourdough bread that I've baked this morning. This cost me about 50 cents a loaf to make. It did take me a bit of a while until I got the knack of it, but it was all good. And this is some toasties that I've made from some homemade milk bread loaf. And that is quite cheap. This works out at about $1.09 for a loaf, and I use it to feed my children for their lunch boxes. Ooh. They're the envy of the other kids, I might add.
That's brilliant. And dinner as well, you've got that covered. Most people can't even make dinner for a family for $10.
Well, this is a good point, actually, because it is hard. So what I have this week is Moroccan chicken. So you can see here, this is, quite cheap for what it is. This is $4 for this entire tray. I made the preserved lemons myself. With some gifted lemons. These ones are bought, but I make it also with gifted lemons. And I bulk it out with chickpeas. So a can of chickpeas costs about $1, depending on where you buy it. But you can make them even cheaper by using dried chickpeas. So that then works out about between 30 and 40 cents for the same amount. And it's really good in protein. So using legumes, chickpeas, lentils, all of those sorts of things are a really great way of being both frugal and healthy.
How do you make sure you stick to your budget? You know, when you're in the supermarket and you pick up little bits and pieces, do you buy in bulk? Do you stick to your list? How do you do it?
Yeah, it's so tempting when you go shopping. Supermarkets are really designed to make you want to spend, and I love going shopping and I love spending money on food. It can be hard. What I tend to do when times are really tough, and it can be hard in COVID times, but I keep a cash kitty. And so I know then that when I've spent what's in there, then it's all gone. So if I'm going through times where I really need to be careful about my budget, that's what I do. And I usually try and live just a little bit beneath my $70 a week, so then I can invest in buying certain things in bulk or that on special. For instance, if I buy chickpeas, I'll usually buy a kilo or maybe even more from a Middle Eastern or Indian grocery store, because that's much more cost effective to do it that way. So the little savings I make one week, I can roll on to the next week.
Very clever. And what about buying food that lasts longer? You know, they really just stay in there rather than the fresh stuff. What's your view?
Well, seasonal is lovely. Like, strawberries are coming into season at the moment and nothing beats fresh strawberries. But the risk is that you can overbuy on things that are in season now, and you buy with the best of intentions, but you don't end up using them up. So on average, about 1 in 5 bags of groceries are wasted due to food waste. So a good way in part of your weekly shop is to have some good quality frozen vegetables that are there, and fruits as well, that can help to bulk that out. So nutritionally, they're actually very good for you. Some people even think they're actually better than fresh and seasonal vegetables, depending on how long you've had fresh things for. So nutritionally, you're not missing out. In terms of frugality, sometimes, in fact, often, they are even cheaper as well, and it means you're not wasting because you've got them in the freezer for when you need them.
Well, that's what I was going to say, sir. Oh, hang on, sorry, Serena, we're going to have to just break in there because I think the Victorian Premier is about to do a press conference.
I understand.
Sorry.